Good evening. First, a News 8 special report. A Connecticut woman pursuing a multi-million-dollar claim against the state after police say she was impregnated by her guardian at just 12 years old.
That victim says she suffered a decade of sexual abuse, and the Department of Children and Families did nothing to intervene when its own employee reported concerns. She sat down with News 8's Catherine Hauser for an exclusive interview.
Crystal's case is heartbreaking to hear, all of it hidden in plain sight. As a child, she says she was sexually assaulted almost daily by her guardian when others knew. Crystal is now seeking restitution and justice.
They took everything from me. Everything.
Crystal is a fighter, the 29-year-old surviving what she describes as a nightmare childhood. In 2005, she says her former foster mother just left her at a Bristol home that still haunts her.
The unspeakable things that have happened in that household, no one should ever even have to face or know about.
Crystal's story first made headlines last January when she reported years of alleged sexual abuse to Bristol police.
It was like the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders the second I told my story.
Soon after the couple Crystal called, mom and dad, Darlene and Roger Burial, were arrested. Roger charged with first-degree sexual assault.
We don't have any comment at all. No, we have no comment on this case.
Roger, do you want to say anything?
He doesn't want to say anything.
The 64-year-old accused of repeatedly raping Crystal approximately 3,800 to 4,000 times, according to the police report, starting when she was 9. Crystal became pregnant at 12. Crystal says Roger threatened her.
If I told anyone, I would be punished. My daughter would be taken away. No one would believe me. I'd be put in jail. This is what I was told.
By who?
Roger.
Last winter, Bristol police executed a warrant, obtaining a cheek swab sample. That DNA lab test confirming Roger is the father of Crystal's daughter. Roger's 48-year-old wife, Darlene, was also charged in the case with risk of injury to a minor.
Darlene, do you care to comment on the charges? Anything at this time?
Nope. She knew everything. And she did absolutely nothing.
While the criminal case is pending, Crystal is pursuing a $30 million claim against the Connecticut Department of Children and Families. Nate Baber is her attorney. He's taken on a number of sexual assault cases over his legal career.
How does a 12-year-old girl become pregnant and no one does anything about it? How is it that DCF is involved in a myriad of ways with this family for more than a decade, and she's never removed from the house? No one ever steps in. No one ever asks the right question or asks her questions privately.
The claim says, despite the reports, tips, referrals, complaints, concerns, suspicions, reasonable belief, and her pregnancy, DCF failed to take any meaningful action for more than a decade.
It's the worst case of sexual abuse in the sense of how many people could have done something to stop it.
Baber says DCF endorsed and approved Roger and Darlene's guardianship application of Crystal in 2008, when she was 6 months pregnant with Roger's child at just 12 years old.
Some of the records reflect that they simply just asked him and asked her who's the father and relied on that denial as sufficient evidence to close the investigation.
The Department of Children and Families declined our multiple requests for an interview. DCF Commissioner Jody Hill-Lilly released a statement saying the agency is limited in what they can share. It reads in part, the department had no involvement with the child or any of the involved families between 2003 to 2006. It goes on to say, Mr. Burial and his wife were never licensed foster parents for the department, and the now adult victim was not placed into the home of Roger Burial by the department. The family received guardianship of the victim via the probate court as a child. But in these heavily redacted records obtained by News 8, in 2006, we learned a report was received by DCF alleging that a child in the home was being sexually abused by Roger Barriold. In another record, the caller was a DCF worker reporting similar concerns.
She didn't have to go through this. She did not have to face this abuse more than one time, because from the very beginning, people knew, they were suspicious, they had every reason to believe this was going on, and they still did nothing.
As Crystal continues her legal fight, her daughter gives her strength.
I don't know if I'd be here without her.
By sharing her story, she says she hopes to create change and help fix what's broken.
But I just want to go on and just live a life that I can be proud of and know that I'm nothing like the people who raised me.
First, I want to thank Crystal for her strength and bravery in sharing her story with us. We did reach out to DCF numerous times, and we still have many unanswered questions. As for Roger and Darlene Barriold, they both have pleaded not guilty to the charges against them. They are going to be back in court next month.
So where does his case go now? This just sounds horrific.
Yes, so there's a specific process in Connecticut with a claim when someone's pursuing litigation against the state. So right now this claim is with the claims commissioner. There is expected to be a hearing before the end of the year, and then we'll find out if the commissioner either approves it or denies it. We, of course, are going to continue to follow that story for you.